Happy Sunday, everyone.
Happy Sunday, Consuela.
As my dogs make noise at the very moment I'm greeting our guests. I don't know if you can all hear that. My dogs are like making low growling noises. That's strange. But anyway, hello to Pandora and Kaiden.
Hi.
So we're excited to have you join us today for another amazing Behind the Brand interview. We are here in Costa di Luce. That's why I believe I've heard you say it, Pandora. So I'm just going to go with that pronunciation.
And we're hoping that's the right one, yeah.
So we have found a little like rooftop area, which is lovely. I love a good rooftop.
Pizzeria area,
yeah. So here we are.
And I gotta say, I was scoping out this menu. They have something called the Second Life Pixel Pizza, and it's a deal. It's the cheapest thing on the menu, but I want one. Mozzarella, pepperoni, mushrooms, and Jamie's special sauce. Not available.
I'm kind of scared of the special sauce, but the rest does sound good.
I'll try anything.
There's less harm in the pixelated part, so I encourage it. I do.
Oh gosh. So actually, I wanted to address a little bit of the format of this before we even get started, because Pandora, we were talking last night that there's been some past points of contention with like interviews that KaidenTray Landscapes has given, or like with public appearances and such, and so right out of the gate, like the effectively the voice, the public relations type voice for KaidenTray Landscapes is primarily going to be you, Pandora, because of extraneous circumstances, and apparently there's been, that's been something that people have been upset about, but I just right out of the gate want to say that's fine, and if anyone has an issue with that, you're welcome to tune out. But like,
I had a feeling you were going to say that. You're welcome.
Yeah,
I was very direct. I like that. Yes, just be gone.
Look, I got no patience for it.
Thank you, Tor. Thank you.
Folks, these folks are graciously letting us take a peek into the creative process and such behind this enterprise, and going to be sharing some of their first life experiences as well. So respect that, and like it actually gets into to a large degree matters of consent, right? Like, if when somebody chooses that they don't want to necessarily speak up themselves and wants to defer, that's their choice to make, and that's how it is. So just wanted to set that from the onset.
For sure, and I'll go into a bit of detail if you don't mind about that.
Please do.
But also dropping the fact that you and I are clearly going to be BFFs after this tour, because I love your upfront demeanor. Like, we were just made to be best friends. 100%. Strength in numbers.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
So,
yes.
Seriously, he is. So it really comes down to uniqueness. And I can even say, while being vague, that the idea of, and I say being vague because I obviously wouldn't name any names or do any call outs, but the idea of people telling other people how to be creative, or how to run their business, or how to execute whatever request or plan or project or objective is kind of crazy, right? Because we're all here relying on each other's talents, skills, communications, abilities, strengths, so on and so forth. And when people demand that to be done in a certain way, you take away that strength. that powerhouse. And it is definitely the same with Kaiden and I. It's no secret from Kaiden's Facebook, if you follow it, which is public, so it's pretty easy to follow, that he's autistic and that he suffers from schizophrenia and was not even verbal until the age of 12.
Mhm.
So communicating with people is a huge ask.
Yeah.
And it's a difficult one to force upon someone who is in that position. And I also have my weaknesses, by the way. But
We
it
all
just so
do.
happens,
We all do.
yeah, we all do, absolutely. It just so happens because of being an attorney in real life, I just have a skill set for communication and proficiency in some ways in business. So the whole goal, I know I sound kind of sales pitchy, forgive me, audience and new BFFs. The whole goal is to be able to provide a service in the best way for everyone else. The best
Absolutely.
way we can do that is
Yeah.
by playing to our strengths and being unique and giving them a powerhouse. So, but people do get upset that I speak for Kaiden. There's been horrific comments made. Comments I don't take personally because I'm used to criticism, but it's unfortunate and it benefits no one. But
Right.
we do still provide the best service that we can, regardless. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, like it's kind of a sore spot for me that people don't recognize that or are unwilling to like respect those boundaries is what it really comes down to. Because that's that's just basic common courtesy. If you care about someone else as a human being, that if they have established this is how I want to engage, and you say, well, no, I want to do it this way. I want you to interact with me this way. That's not, that's not okay.
For sure, but it
Yeah.
definitely stifles the creative process, yeah, because
Oh, yeah.
it's also like I want you to think this way. I
Yes,
want you to
absolutely.
perform this way.
Yeah.
And this is like a more practical struggle that we have is one of the things that we do for our clients when we book landscaping projects is that we try to get all the information up front so that the creative process of quote unquote painting the landscape, right? Because that's really how Kaiden's mind works. That we have all the information so that that painting process from the get-go can be fluid.
Yeah, you can
But
get the
a
whole
lot of
kind of bird's eye view and yeah.
exactly,
Hmm.
exactly, and a lot of I shouldn't say a lot. I'm sorry. Some people are kind of like, well, I'm just going to make this little change because it's not a big deal, or I'm just going to do it this way because it's not a big deal, or I just want to send it through a note card, not because it's just a little thing. It's not a big deal, and it might seem like a little thing, but we all operate differently, so it can be a big deal. We're all so different. It
Yeah.
affects people in different ways.
And also just because I find that kind of personally relatable in a way, obviously very different discipline, but I actually approach scripting projects the same way. It drives me crazy when like I try to get a very detailed upfront needs analysis of everything that a script needs to do, and then someone's like, well, yeah, but also what about just bolting on this other completely unrelated system after the fact? Even though in their mind it's like not a big deal. It's like, okay, but the whole engine that I just built doesn't support that. So what do you want me to do here? Like,
Yeah, let me just journey that up. Just not.
right. And I know that's a totally different field, but it's it's kind of the same sort of concept of
I mean,
yeah,
it is, but it isn't because
yeah,
the fundamental idea is basically the same.
yeah,
In landscape specifically, it's well, let me just. This happens frequently. Let me just swap out a house, and I'm gonna try to do it, or let me just change these tiny pieces, and this little park over here, this little space over here, it's just a tiny area, let me change it, or let me have somebody else change it. And then later it's, oh well, I want it to be something different now. Okay, but now we're not looking at what was there. Now we've changed it. Now there's roads. Now there's grass. Now there's, some's PBR, some's not. Let's change the environment. Not. I mean, it's just, if we can do 2 builds and one can be PBR and one can be non-PBR, and the drastic differences in just the appearance is unreal. So you can only imagine how those little details just can affect a picturesque setting.
Absolutely. Since we're kind of in this realm of subject anyway, kind of wanted to drill into what you're talking about there of when you get that kind of high level picture of what needs to be made, you're describing it as like painting the landscape. So, and just like looking at Costa di Luce, and I peeked at some of the other builds. They do feel very, very like alive and like lived in, and like you say on your site, like that your profile, that you're trying to create a realistic sort of setting. Like, what? I guess the question that I'm driving at it is like, how do you decide what specifically kind of starts to make a space feel alive beyond just like the rote act of putting objects down? Like, how do you start to conceive the overall scene that you're creating, and the flow of it?
Well, Kaiden and I would give you 2 separate answers. So I can
Sure. This is more, I suppose, for Kaiden.
Yeah, because I mean, this is kind of interesting.
Yes.
But as I'm sure you know, as I'm sure everybody who's listening, that once you get into a relationship, you kind of, and the closer you are to that person, you kind of blend into the same person, into this weird anomaly of we're individuals and we're different, but we're also similar. And it just kind of blurs lines in an odd way.
Yeah.
So so sometimes we say the same things and we say them differently, really saying the same thing. It's very confusing. So Kaiden would tell you that for him, it's how he feels. He has to feel an environment. So if he can go there and he feels like this kind of, I'm trying to think of the word, almost like spiritual, out of body type experience. You know what I mean? Like those details are enough to almost give him that feeling. Then he would tell you for him that makes the job. Do you know what I mean? That does the deed. That makes him feel like everything that he needs is there. There's so much realism. Like, say for example, if he's walking along the sim and this actually happens with our clients a lot. It's kind of crazy. But if there's dirt that's just like falling onto the concrete, some of our clients will say, "Oh well, there's an uneven area here. It's not neat, right?" But then Kaiden goes, "But reality is messy. Like if you walk down the road, you're gonna see dirt just going over concrete. It's not neat."
Right.
So for him, it's those details that make it feel immersive enough, and those are the kind of things that he looks for or focuses on. But he needs to do the bones of it first before he can even think of that. So his mind kind of has this tier system. A lot of landscapers, I think, and decorators will do square by square by square by square.
Yeah.
And when they're done with a certain area, they're like, this part is done, right? But Kaiden's mind doesn't work that way. So he starts, yeah, so he starts in the middle and he works out and he gets that frame, that foundation, and then he continues moving, and the last thing he'll add is the details to see how if it feels realistic to him. So for me, it's kind of the same thing, but it's different. And I implement his way of thinking too, because obviously we have to stay in the same house and stay married. we'll argue over something till the death. But the way I implement that is practicality. So I try to think, well, I'm sitting at a table, and what would I need to eat? If I was in this position, what would I do? What would I reach for? What would I think of? What would come to my mind? And that helps me with those type of details that Kaiden more feels and just doesn't narrow down, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But also we use a lot of tools and tricks of photography, angles. Kaiden likes to make it seem like every place that you turn is a potential photograph. So he will literally turn the camera repeatedly and zoom around the sim and make sure every angle he's looking at is that way. So that's another thing we look for. But yeah, it's to me, it's mostly, are there enough similarities to real life to trick your brain into feeling like you are there?
Yeah.
And what type of things would that recognize? And it could be movement, it could be sound effects, it could be the practicality of water and how it flows, just different details like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you touched on definitely two things there that are very close to my heart. One, I definitely am aligned with Kaiden's way of thinking on the imperfections in builds. Consuela has gotten used to me whenever we're arranging furniture. I don't like to do it quite on the grid. I don't like it to be perfectly 90-degree angles. I nudge things slightly, like everything's slightly out of alignment because stuff doesn't set down perfectly in neat little rows. Yeah, getting a little messiness is very much
life is messy.
It is.
What's funny is when we're decorating together, I will set stuff out, snap to grid all the time, and just expect that he's going to come through and tweak it. And that's fine. That's like part of our process when we're decorating. So.
It is.
The really funny thing, this happened to us in the Halloween sim, the New Orleans Halloween sim. We had this huge fight over a bench. And and I mean, it was almost divorce time. Like somebody was gonna sleep on the couch. We were really because New Orleans is my hometown. So when we do sims like Wandering of New York, where we live, when we do New Orleans, we both get really passionate because it's like very personal, right?
Okay.
So we had, I think it was Dahlia's or Delilah, I don't know how to pronounce that brand correctly. So I apologize if the owner's listening, but it was her bench, and she has oxidized benches for this like incredible texture, right? And that happens so much in the South because of the environment and all the chemicals and blah, blah, blah. And it was amazing that it was oxidized. And so Kaiden wanted a clean bench, which is a rarity, and I wanted the oxidized bench. And we were literally like walking past, deleting it, re-resing it. It was a nightmare. But I was like, if you touch that bench one more time, we are done. You leave that bench alone. And so finally he was like, you're right, it's better, I'm not touching it. And I'm like, oh. Being married to KaidenTray is no small thing. No small thing.
That's delightful, though.
But I'm sorry, what was the second thing you were talking about?
Oh, yeah, the other part. So Consuelo and I are both involved with the Visionaire Institute, which is a
Second Life photography.
Thank you. Yeah,
sorry.
It teaches Second Life photography, virtual photography, and yeah, we're both constantly looking through places for how it actually photographs and stuff. And I definitely noticed that things were arranged when we came through here, we initially came through here for a concert theater.
Yeah, it was DJ Nettie and the life of a DJ. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was, as I'm wont to do, frantically camming around everything, because I'm obsessive that way. And I noticed that like everything pulled in, like every turn that I made opened up a really interesting view, and I thought that was just delightful. So yeah, it definitely shows, and it definitely makes a place, not just, obviously the realism is important, but also just making it aesthetically pleasing so that you can present it, and so that it's just nice to be in is fantastic. So yeah, both of those things were definitely noticed, definitely appreciated. And here I am speaking as if like we're the clients. No, just generally, it was definitely something that we kind of picked up on. That's awesome that it's got that much intentionality behind it.
Thank you, Jason. By the way, I appreciate that. I see your comment.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to comment back, but I'm logged into Kaiden's account, and he'll scream at me. So I'm just going to say it. Thank you.
Yeah. Something that I kind of noticed looking around also is the myriad of like different creators and objects, and even like backdrops being used that are normally supposed to just be like for photographing, but now just become like part of the flow of a overall build. Do you is there like a process that you use to kind of pick out which things need to be like functional buildings, which need to just be framing? Do you how much actual like customization or tearing objects apart, some just to make something work, goes into a build? And I guess to build on that, sometimes do you set out to try and use a piece and it just doesn't actually work? And this is again, it's kind of, I know both of you kind of work at it from different angles, so I'm kind of curious to hear both perspectives here.
Before it distracts me, hey bro, hey Kizik, I see you, and love you, and I hope you're feeling better. So really what it comes down to is versatility, because and it isn't just the backdrops. We have this problem with skyboxes too. When we were doing Wandering, we were trying to do penthouses, and we found that it was really difficult to do because there wasn't a lot of versatility, and we were having this problem with skyboxes too. So what it comes down to is just how modifiable it is and how well it fits in the scene. Oh, I just missed what you said, honey. Hold on. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Kaiden saying there are a lot become some. Wait, I'm misunderstanding what you said. Where's it differently? A lot of designers make it not modifiable. That's what he's trying to tell me. Okay.
I will try and make it make sense, but some designers make it no mod now, so it's hard to break buildings apart. But we like to retexture as well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was funny. I'm glad you said that, because I was trying to read this and I'm like, honey, that's not English.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to explain it, But there you go.
Yeah, I've noticed sometimes like something has like textures kind of pre-baked into where the seams are, and I'm like, but I just want to pull this apart from the wall. Yeah, stop. We've got PVR. Stop it.
And this is horrible, but we've actually taken pieces apart from some of them, and we're just like, we did that with and I'm sorry, my friend, if you're listening, we did that with Minimal's taxis. We were like, we need the perfect taxi with snow. Where do we get this from? And there was a whole scene, and it was like perfect. And we're like, we just need this taxi. So we just yoinked that thing. But yeah, sometimes, and this is with landscaping too. We did a workshop recently with Mad P, and we let people know this.
We love Mad P.
Yeah, Mad P is awesome. Pieces in basically everything. You know, I can't tell you how many times Kaiden and I, mostly for decor, take things apart. You know, the more modifiable it is, the better. The more we can retexture it, the better. You know, even for decor, it's crazy. Makes a big difference.
If you had like a request or an ask that you could put out into the world towards, you know, mesh creators and stuff, to make something more more usable, more like adaptable, what would the main hang up be that you would want folks to actually address and change?
You know,
I
I'm gonna
think
take the lead on this.
the oh, you carry on. All right. So I think like the baked shadows
I love my husband.
in houses is kind of hard if you
It
want
is.
to retexture a wall or something. It looks silly. Or like there's like a built-in kitchen, and if you take out the kitchen, there's like shadows everywhere. I think that drives people crazy sometimes. But it's, you know, it's
Yeah.
And there's a
Your
lot
turn.
of I love it. And there's a lot of benefit to using PBR and leaving that world behind. PBR is your friend. Please allow me to say that again. PBR is your friend. Do not be afraid of it. It is not going to hurt you.
It's true. Preach,
But
Pandora.
also, and it looks pretty. Let it shine. Do a probe.
So good.
But I'm gonna say this, and I'll bet you more than anything, this has been. We love your gotchas, but we can't love your gotchas. Okay, we love your gotchas, but we can't.
Oh yeah,
love your
I
gotchas.
forgot about that one.
Yeah, I knew it. I was gonna say that the first thing. I was like, let me tell you what Kaiden is not gonna think about, but needs to say. We want to support you. We want to give you our money. We're happy to give, but we can't use your gotchas. So if you like us using your stuff, please don't do that anymore. Thank you.
Oh gosh. All right, fantastic. Yeah, and I do hope that designers, you know, pay mind to that, because I've had some of the same frustrations. Because we're often trying to force things to suit purposes they maybe weren't initially designed for, but just a little bit would make them more adaptable. So definitely.
You know what I can suggest, and this is really off the wall. It's going to be kind of crazy, but I'm throwing an idea out there for designers. We have some, I don't want to call them crazy people. I'm sorry. Let me think of a different word. We have some very particular
You just
people.
said it.
I know. That was a joke. We have some very particular people. I love everybody. Don't hate me. And they would love to have landscapes transferred to their like possession so that they can own it, and that is practically unrealistically impossible. If designers can do like charge substantially more for those rights to be able to do that, to like change their items to transfer, you know, so that they can go from person to person, do it. Charge an insane amount. But if people want that in their landscapes, and that's even possible to do, to make your items transfer like that, feel free. Because I've never heard anybody talk about that before, and I understand the position that it would put the designer in. But if there really is a design, or designers and creators that are okay with that, then, because I mean, it is basically as logical as a gotcha, right?
Yeah, and
it would just require.
So, I mean, just to kind of put that in another term, like there are things out there kind of in that vein, there's of course clothing makers who put out like full perm versions, and then there's even outfits that do like where you have to sign up for a dev kit, right? And it could be something similar where you if you're like a landscape outfit like y'all, and there's a group that's putting out, you know, all kinds of plant life, for example, and garden kits and stuff, they could have you pay a fair chunk for a dev kit version of that stuff, which would be full perm. You know, and if they used that model, they could, rather than the marketplace, they could try and keep a little bit more of a clamp on who has access to it. But I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think it's practical, and
Yeah.
it might limit our abilities to provide certain types of landscape. You know, if a client's asking for, I want this landscape and everything has to be transferable, right? Okay, well, we can only do certain themes, certain items, whatever. But it can happen.
Yeah,
It is possible.
it's a great idea. All right, so rolling along in under design philosophy. So I'm particularly keen to hear Kaiden's thoughts on this because as you described, for him it's more of like a feel and a almost like emotional / soulful experience, which is and I also want to preface this, I am an absolute lighting nerd, so I'm curious, like as far as creating a mood and maintaining the atmosphere and really conveying the feeling of the space that you want to convey, what kind of, how do you approach lighting and choosing your environment settings, and how do you kind of bolt down or know how you want to convey that and make it like work throughout the entire build?
Sorry, I just got a message from Kaiden. I think this is something I'm gonna frame. Can you? I apologize. Can you? I thought Kaiden was gonna answer this. Can you ask that one more time? I'm sorry.
Sure. Yeah. So as far as like setting up the different lighting and choosing an environment and using all of that, and projectors, if you use those sometimes, to try and recreate the mood or feeling that is present in that initial like painting in the landscape that you're trying to create. How do you kind of decide how to illuminate and how to choose an environment that works throughout the entire build? Because obviously there's a whole bunch of different parts of the build. Each of them have kind of their own little story they're telling, but you overall still have to have a coherent set of lighting. So how do you kind of approach that?
To be honest, it's kind of broken down into categories. So if it's a client versus our own personal projects, everything that we do and the ambiance and the setting is completely different. So if it's a client and it's custom landscaping, then we basically go by their preference. And the majority of our clients know exactly what they want. There are, by the way, Lasher's coming to you, honey, upstairs. There are a few people who are kind of like, we follow your direction, whatever you think is best. But realistically, a lot of them have a very vivid image, and it can be affected by like the water, for example. Some people want an environment that makes the water clear. They want it to look a very certain way. Some people want just more life, more vivid. Some people want more spooky, more darker, more gothic, you know, that kind of moody vibe. So that gives us a lot of understanding about the lighting. If it's winter, obviously it's going to be dark. If it's beach, it's obviously going to be brighter, sunnier. Certain colors of buildings, or more specifically, if they're worn as opposed to changed the lighting a lot as well. It's kind of like the same palette that probably photographers go for, and to be honest, the visuals change it a lot. Not in the sense of like pictures look different than our work, but specifically, for example, and I'm sure you know this, you have an environment that's designated for PBR as opposed to not, and you see the exact same buildings and the exact same settings, but just that fundamental difference, it can change drastically.
Oh yeah.
And when it comes to ours, it's totally different, and we love it because Kaiden can pick what he feels is right, and sometimes likes my opinion, sometimes does not. And so it really comes down to testing a lot of different things and finding a balance. And with him, he finds that his feelings make some things a little bit too much. Like that light just doesn't give him the mood he's looking for. Or so he needs to dampen it, or he just wants a more clear view, which changes the environment to that. Sometimes he needs more detail, sometimes he needs less, most of the time more, because he likes detail. So it's things like that. That's how we figure that out.
Nice. I know that I sometimes obsessively, like, when I'm trying to figure out how to illuminate a space, like I'm constantly looking at it like in really dark environments and saying like, there's like a neon sign up there and the neon sign looks great, but it's not actually giving off any light, but it should. So I like throw a prim up there.
Yep.
Like there's invisible prims all over stuff just to add little tiny accents of light because yeah.
I can tell you one of the routines that we go through is everything needs to be done in, what is it, honey? The legacy midday, the like clear, bright light, and then lights can change, environment can change, but everything has to look good when you can see it. When it's bright and there's tons of light, and then from there we can set a mood. But if it's not done that, there's too much detail that's lost.
I like to use battle scars, and there's someone else that I use too. I can't remember now. Spec skies or something. But yeah, I like battle scars.
Oh, okay. J battle scars.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's what we're in right now in Costa.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really nice one for sure.
I think we've done battle scars for all of our personal sims. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
For the last
I think
3-4 years. Yeah.
Don't shake what works.
Right? If it ain't broke.
Yeah.
No time to fix it, so it's fine.
This is kind of just an odd question, but it occurred to me that it'd be kind of, I don't know if this is a thing or not, but do you have like I'm referring to it as like a comfort element, but like a plant or a tree or like a piece of furniture or some detail that always kind of finds its way into your builds or tends to find its way into your builds, just because it's like something that you really appreciate, that particular thing.
I can tell you, Kaiden is happier when he uses quinoa grass.
Quinoa grass. Okay.
If he,
Oh yeah, I love quinoa grass.
if he could hug
Tourist taking notes.
mesh grass,
Yes, this is exactly.
if he could hug
what I wanted
mesh
to hear.
grass,
Quinoa
I
grass.
would find my
little
husband
branch.
just laying there. Yeah. I would find my
Shout
husband
out
just laying
to
there in the
quinoa
mesh
grass.
grass.
I have to interject and say I was so sad for Tour that he could not attend the Mad P that you were talking at, where you gave all the references to the things that you enjoy building with. And I was like,
Oh,
Tour
yeah.
is missing out. This is his jam. Now this is the moment.
Yeah.
And for all the fans, I can give you a little tidbit of KaidenTray 101 if you're interested, and it's something that you like to hear about.
Yeah.
So I don't know what everyone's spirituality is, and Kaiden's gonna throw something at me. So if you hear a large noise, that's what's happening. But Kaiden, the person in real life, whose name is Kaiden, so it's easy to call him Kaiden.
Mhm.
Kaiden is very remnant of a deer to me, and he loves deers, and it's a little bit of an obsession. So every time I decorate or we have the ability to, we love to. So that would probably be
What did she say?
the one
That cut
thing.
out. You love to what?
A deer. We love
Oh,
to
love a
throw
deer.
a deer. We love deers. Yes, we love
Yes.
real life deers. We love virtual deers. We love everything has to do with deers. That's like his spirit animal. So if
Cool.
we can throw a deer in, it just makes us very happy. So
I
that
love
makes Kaiden warm and fuzzy.
Okay, so that also opens up appreciators of your builds to go on tiny scavenger hunts. You can explore KaidenTray builds, all of you out there, and seek out the deer that are hiding out somewhere.
What have I done? We actually made a sim that was called New Deer.
Aw.
And
love
it
that.
was
I
it was
love
like
that.
it had a huge statue of it. It was a community.
Yes.
But we sold it because we had no time. But it was made for the deers.
Okay,
It's all about the deer.
fantastic.
I
I
get it.
love that. I love that.
I'm like that. I have mine is the fox, and we actually have a
Yes.
fox statue outside of one of our homes.
Yes.
So I get
That
it
is so
completely. I
cute.
identify with that.
Yeah, we try to sneak a fox into
Yep.
different things. Yeah.
See, you understand. You get it.
Absolutely. Yep.
Absolutely. All right, so that's a little bit of the like, practical what you guys do side. I want to dig a little bit into the two of you, and your how you got into all this. So, if you'll indulge me, Pandora, you first, and then if you can, nudge this same.
If I can
if you
poke
can also
Kaiden.
Kaiden or provide the answer thereof. How'd you first find out about / enter into Second Life? What was your first experiences here? Everyone seems to have a story on how you got into the grid and what it was like.
Okay.
Okay, big sigh.
Okay. This is gonna be a story.
Okay, I've got my popcorn.
Okay. All right. Let me figure out how to explain this. Okay.
Oh.
So I used to be an online gamer. Now I don't have the time to be an online gamer, but I used
Okay.
to be. And yeah, I know, honey. I know. You're gonna have to find a way. I'm sorry, I'm getting messages from Kaiden too. You're gonna have to find a way to, unless you're gonna make me tell that story. I will. But you're gonna have to find a way to tell your story, honey. I'm sorry. Kaiden's is gonna be another fun story. We both have fun stories.
Yes, that's what we're here for.
Okay, so I used to play this game called Shadowbane.
Yes.
Which was
Oh, no.
oh, you know it. Okay.
That was a very
I
also a
told you
gamer
we
nerd.
were gonna be
Our
best friends.
enthusiasm.
I told you we were gonna be best friends. Okay, Shadowbane, right? One of the best games that was ever created. Completely decision and risk, right? Self-balanced risk in the game. Incredible. I actually had a guild on a non-Asian server because
Okay.
Asians have taken over so many servers. It was called Infamous, and I was very proud of how competitive we were. We played on, and it was mostly run by guys. And my greatest skill as a leader was just letting everyone use their strength and not letting ego be involved, because that was such a big thing on the game.
Yeah.
There was a guy whose name is literally Bob. I could not make this up. I'm
Hi,
just
Bob.
being real with you. His name is Bob. He was a friend of mine, and he told me that I needed SL because it was an incredible game and there was so many things you could do and everybody's
You cut out
and
there a little bit, and everybody.
oh,
was
I'm
Everybody's
sorry.
what?
That everyone was looking everyone was doing different things. There were a million
Oh, yeah.
things to do and everyone was moving fast in relation. There was all this stuff and he's telling me all this and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to do that. That doesn't even sound entertaining to me. And then at some point after like the 7th pitch, he told me, well, you can DJ. And I went, oh, you didn't say
Yes.
that before, Bob. So I used to be, years ago, I used to be a professional singer.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
And
Nice.
I used to be in a band and played opening for people, different bands. And I unfortunately didn't have time to do it. And I could not tour when I went to law school. And then I just couldn't follow up on it. It was
Yeah.
too impractical. So I had some friends that would let guest vocals, but every once in a while, which I haven't at this point since COVID. But this allowed me to still have music in my life.
Yeah.
So I was like, that would be great. I would be willing to do that.
That's a beautiful thing.
So I went to SL with the intention to learn how to DJ.
Mhm.
I learned how to DJ. I had a friend who ran a strip club, and
As you do.
Mhm.
I was, as you do,
Mhm.
I was a DJ manager at the strip club. Was like too busy to be a hoe, which a lot of the other girls were.
Well,
Content
excuse
for
me. I
the
have to say
men.
I have hoe experience. I just want to put that out there. I'm
Well,
not offended though.
I was trying to avoid it, but you know, it's kind of like the hole. It sucks you in.
Yeah.
You wake up one day and you find your hooker in SL, and there's nothing
Well,
about it,
I
right?
have to
It just-
interrupt again, Pandora, and tell you that's exactly how Tour found me.
It is. Yeah.
Good.
I
My
met her
husband
during
just fell
her hoe era.
Good. You know why? Because that's how Kaiden found me.
What?
Hey.
Wow! I love this.
And
we are meant to be besties.
We are meant to be besties. Okay, calm down, Lasher. Mommy's not a hoe anymore. But listen, so those days are behind Mommy.
Gosh.
But what happened was, Kaiden used to come to the same strip club and hang out. And
I wasn't a stripper.
no, he was not, he was not a stripper. And he did not hire
I just want
girls.
to clarify that I wasn't a stripper.
I like how he leans in to be like, I wasn't a stripper. Heard
Blacker
it loud
needs
and
to go to Daddy.
clear.
Drive me crazy.
Mhm.
Can you call your son upstairs, please, honey? He's driving Morgan crazy. Thank you. So I can hear Lasher from the top stairs. But people, I don't know how many people know Kaiden is really young. I mean, I don't think either of us are that old, but he was young, so he was extremely young at the time that he was spending in strip clubs.
Mhm.
So he was not hiring girls, and he did not hire a maid. That is not the dynamic we had.
Mm-hmm.
We were friends, and we spoke, and then he had a lot of lives. Years.
Sorry, you're cutting out.
You're
again.
cutting out a bit, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna like reset my headset in just a second. But he left SL for a little bit of time after we were friends and spoke in the strip club, and because he had a lot going on in real life. And then after that, we had a mutual friend. Like years later, it was actually his SL sister at the time, and was my longtime friend that hired me for managing clubs for DJing.
Yeah.
And then we reconnected again, and we fell in love.
That's
When we
beautiful.
both worked for Legacy. Yeah, I was a DJ manager, and he was. And
For
so
like legacy.
Legacy.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. That's
So
fantastic.
he landscaped. Oh my God, what was it, honey? It was the spring
It was the spring and
event.
I think they did no, was it Halloween? I
Spring
can't
and
remember.
Halloween, yeah, because that
Yeah.
was the last one we did with Legacy. It was the Halloween event.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
So yeah, that was mine. And do you want me to tell yours, honey? Do you want me to
Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know how
make
to
yours
explain
sound?
that.
So Kaiden was playing other games,
Mhm.
and a friend suggested, I'm making this very PC, and a friend suggested Second Life, and he went to Second Life, and obviously he was struggling with communicating, right? Because for a
Mhm.
lot of his life, he was nonverbal. So
Right.
typing and being able to talk to people helped with his anxiety and, social difficulties. So that really helped a lot. A lot of time he was just spending learning about people, relating to people, forming friendships. And the art was just irresistible to him because he is an amazing artist. He can draw like crazy. And so this is kind of funny, but he went somewhere and he was like, wow, if some things were changed here, it'd be really beautiful. And that's how he started landscaping.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah, I would say after being there for a year, I opened a sim called Peaky Blinders,
Oh,
and
after
I
the
had
show?
karaoke there. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I only started on like a 1/4, and I had like a club and had karaoke there.
It's awesome.
And I met someone called Kai. She's from the UK also, and we kind of collabed and had like karaoke and stuff.
That sounds
And
fun.
from then I just started to landscape.
Yeah. So it just basically was a byproduct of, you were like, I think I can make this grid thing look beautiful, and then did. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
A lot of places inspire me. I think one of the first places I've been to was, I think it's Elysium.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
And that place was like, wow, I want to do something like this. Not like obviously copy, but it inspired me to landscape, do my own type of
just
forest.
see what's possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So shout out to Sin.
Yeah. Well, we did a women's empowerment, and we gave Sin an award because we were like, you inspired Kaiden and so many others. Oh,
and
gosh.
Yeah.
We believe in giving flowers. But
I like that.
I think an important thing to definitely say here is to remind people how long ago that was, because I think a lot of people don't realize that realistically, for a good 7-8 years now, Kaiden's been landscaping most of the time for over 12 hours a day.
Mm.
So if you wonder how KaidenTray Landscapes gotten to this point, no, it has been many, many of practicing and literally.
Yeah.
I think your headphones finally gave up. Or your mic.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah,
Let me reset him.
Yeah.
All right.
Her headset is messed up.
Yeah.
So it was, many.
Well, yeah, it was around 12 hours a day, every day. And it's only been a few months now that I actually take the weekends off now. I have Saturday and Sunday off.
Oh, good.
That's good.
It's important to take some time for yourself.
It really
I
is.
take them hopefully at work now.
Yep, we hear you.
We hear you. But it also sounds like, to some degree, like, it sounds like to at least some degree, it's something that you like really genuinely enjoy as like a creative outlet and a form of expression. So, obviously those are intense hours, but I would imagine that it's the feeling of burnout is maybe blunted by the fact that you seem to get some genuine fulfillment out of creating beautiful spaces.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when I get burnout, I say to Pandora, I'm like, all right, I want a week off, and we don't work for a whole week and just enjoy.
No, I'm sorry. You don't work for a whole week. I still work.
Yeah, she
Kaiden doesn't work
me.
for a week. That's adorable.
Oh gosh. So it sounds like you probably don't necessarily have a lot of time to do other things in SL besides just this. But like when you do take a week off, do you like detach from Second Life, or do you do other things to unwind? Like, what does your SL outside of KaidenTray Landscapes look like?
We love music. So we in our first life we go to a lot of concerts. We enjoy eating out. I love
too much
trying new foods. Cause I'm British, but trying all this American food, and recently we went to the New York State Fair.
Oh,
that was cool. We saw I can't remember her name. This singer, I can't remember.
Jessie Murph.
Jessie Murph and Shaggy. That was really good.
nice.
And
we went to go see Hamilton.
Yeah, we saw Hamilton.
Oh, nice.
And we saw Hellstorm and Lindsay Sterling as well.
Oh my gosh, I love Lindsay Sterling.
So we try like go places and that. In SL, I hardly ever go to events, so I try my best to go to music events 'cause we love music, and support as much as we can for different.
We love to support our friends
and artists, and Mimi as well. Love Mimi's music.
Yeah.
So
you mean Mimi Carpenter, just so we're clear?
And Grace.
Yeah,
Mimi Carpenter. Yeah.
Incredible.
And Grace Loudon as well. It's one of our favorite artists.
Nice. Yeah,
we realized that's actually the birthplace. I know I'm kind of cross explaining here, but that was one of the reasons that we started Costa, which this is an SLEA sim. I'm sure that's obvious from the title, on the land.
Yep.
But the whole idea was we had a friend, Grace, that was on Viral Voice, that Mimi actually judged, which is really cool, and was one of the judges, and we wanted to give her a little bit of exposure, because we realized on social media, like Facebook and Instagram, by just posting a snippet of the performance that she did, that a lot of people don't realize there are like live singers and magic shows like we went to last night, and plays and all this artistic stuff in SL.
Yeah, there are.
Or like sculptures, like artists. All kinds of crazy talent.
Like last night we went to a magician show, and I was like, how the hell they do that? It's crazy.
It was
very
really
immersive.
Cool. It was really cool. We're gonna have that show at Costa because it's gonna be awesome. But there's so much.
We love that same sort of thing.
So much.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's incredible. It's incredible. And there's so much that is in SL that it's just hard to know about, because unless you have a friend that drives, unless you're in the group, unless you have that friend on your social media, it's just overwhelming to connect. When I was trying to find these artists, I had to ask other people. Thank God, I
Mhm.
know amazing
Is
people.
because like searching events is just a crapshoot.
Yep.
It is. It's too overwhelming for me.
Mostly
I
it's all
don't know.
strip clubs. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've given up that life, haven't we? So
Yeah.
realistically,
Yeah.
it's just too difficult to connect, you know? And so what we wanted to do is be with the SLEA and bring as much art and as many artists as we possibly could, and then try to give them exposure from different parts of the community and just support each other. Because when we all support each other, seriously, we all win.
Agreed.
Like we get
Yeah.
good exposure, good experiences. We learn, we grow, you know, we get ideas, we're inspired. So
Yeah.
that's what this was actually supposed to be about. We saw the segregation
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to give a slight explainer, SLEA, Second Life Endowment for the Arts, a correct me if I'm wrong, a coalition / community of artists of all various stripes in Second Life. That's kind of organized a bit. Is that apt to say?
That's
accurate
it.
enough? All right.
That's it. And they
Fantastic.
do all kinds of stuff. They have different sims of nothing but just materials where the whole sim is just art or experiences
Mhm.
where, you know, everything you could think of. It's really amazing. And there are a lot of organizations that come and express themselves that way. It's incredible. But a lot of people don't know about it. It's one of those things where it's another group and affiliation in a cell that just doesn't have, you know, as much exposure as it could from people
Mhm.
sharing the word.
Asking about this build in particular, you mentioned normally you petition a very thorough picture from your client for what to build. Was that the case here, or was this more they wanted just you to build something beautiful? Like, what was SLEA like as effectively a client? How did
SLEA
this come
was
together?
kind of like do something artistic and good.
Okay, so yeah, you had full creative license.
Oh wow.
And
That's awesome.
Kaiden really wanted to be challenged. Well, I mean, obviously, because there were some practicalities. You know, it would have been a weird location for certain types of themes, but
Mhm.
Kaiden wanted to be challenged, and New York Wandering was a challenge. New Orleans Halloween Sims and the one we did for Tokyo Vanity, that was definitely a challenge, but he wanted a much bigger challenge and had never done Italy.
Mm-hmm.
So Italy is what we landed on. We actually had a couple of things we were thinking, but Italy won.
I mean, it came out beautifully, and it definitely is a challenge, especially when you're dealing with some of the irregular verticality in the build, like the tight wandering up and down staircases and stuff. Because I like and the non-uniform buildings, but it all works really nicely.
We had to do a lot of shopping and a lot of discovery.
I bet.
And look for a lot of different builds, but parts of the build. But and by the way, for something you said earlier, a message and shout out to creators again. Please, we can always use more buildings. Please, more unique buildings. I don't understand why, but a lot of designers kind of like stay in the same niche and genre. Go outside the box. Like there are three themes that our clients ask us for that we always have to turn down because they're not enough. Dubai, the UK, like England, specifically London, and Paris. Those three.
Wow.
Everyone wants them. There's not enough buildings for them. I promise you.
Wow.
please think outside the box. Like, we have clients requests for like South Korea, and we're like, we'd love to, but where are we gonna find those buildings? We need to mesh because there's no way. There's just no way we can do that. So
So Tor, you need to work on that when you finally get to become a builder.
Yeah, I mean, we have been taking meshing lessons, and I specifically want to make buildings.
We'll give you a list. That's fine.
I've had the exact same grievance as you. That gets into something that I kind of wanted to say at the onset, but slipped my mind to do so. I in particular was especially enthusiastic about having this chat with y'all because y'all do something that I've been passionate about since I got into SL. I've always really enjoyed like building and decorating spaces, and I way back when used to actually build buildings back when it was just prims, but then they got into mesh and I never learned how to do mesh. But actually like landscaping and detail work and stuff has always been like a passion of mine, and getting to talk to someone who actually does it professionally is just an absolute treat because I just do it as a hobby for our own builds, but I definitely feel that about the lack of variety in certain spaces.
It is. It's a shame. I was actually talking to Kaiden about this while we were walking the dogs yesterday. I was like, there can be actually Kizik and I were having this conversation too, weren't we, bro? There aren't enough dark stores, witchy stores. We wanted to throw something together for Halloween and make it witchy, and there's a couple. I have some favorites, but it's not enough. I mean, realistically, to do full Sims with a level of detail,
I feel like there's been more witchy things like coming out here and there, but like as part of other brands, right?
And it's also mostly decor type stuff.
Yeah.
And not like buildings per se.
Yeah, we rely on, when we did the New Orleans Halloween sim, we relied heavily on Killers, because Killers has some incredible buildings that have that worn, broken down kind of apocalyptic look.
Yeah.
But there really isn't. It goes down to kind of what we said earlier. A lot of designers feel like new and clean and pristine is the way to go. I'll give you a funny little tidbit. We have a bunch of clients that ask for Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah.
And Los Angeles is one of the places that that Kaiden went to in the States years ago. And when he tries to think and envision it, he's thinking of places he's actually been. And the clients are like, well, we're looking for modern and white and clean. But that's not Los Angeles.
No.
Los Angeles is dirty.
And
Los Angeles is very dirty and
Yes,
old.
it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, they're thinking of the posh part.
Yeah, they're thinking of the Kardashians, but Kaiden's like, I don't understand. This doesn't look like Los Angeles. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with Miami that we go through, or Florida specifically. There's all these places, and when people think of places, they think of one area. They have a vision in there, right? And we're like, we get it, but a state is big, California is everywhere from Big Sur to San Francisco. Like, we need to know what you're looking at,
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, like Miami's population is like almost 500,000 people. They're not all living in the upscale beachfront hotels. Let me tell you.
No. Sometimes you're asking for little Cuba in Florida. It really depends on what you're seeing, and we've been really strict about getting pictures in our forms when we take client projects.
That's a good idea. Basically, you're asking for like a Pinterest mood board sort of thing for the landscaping.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, because we have to see what the client is seeing. We really need to have an understanding. So it's so broad. People interpret things very differently. And we've actually turned down some projects because we've explained you're not looking for the realism. And there are plenty of landscapers that have a different style than we do, and they do different things than we do, and that's totally okay. But our style, if you want our best work, it's going to be the realism. It's going to make you feel like you're in that place. And that's what we need to be able to give you.
Kind of to zoom in on that concept, this is kind of just a nudge towards potential clients, which is it might be worth looking in and scrutinizing like your own vision of a particular place, because I think it does a disservice to only fixate on like the idyllic version of some locale. Like speaking, of myself, like I'm from Orlando, basically, Greater Orlando, but neither here nor there. People think of, it's fun, it's theme parks, it's everything, and like then, we've also got like I just got back from every Sunday I do food deliveries. We have a whole bunch of folks that are just like living literally in the woods in tents because they can't be seen, and it's like these are like adjacent to each other. These things happening is the grand magic kingdom, and then
Folks
abject poverty.
Yeah.
And actually, there's a fantastic movie that I'm going to shout out called The Florida Project. Really wonderful film, 100% recommended, which kind of touches on similar themes. But I think there's value in embracing that messiness and that more realistic depiction of a place, rather than just like selling the line that the PR people would tell you about the place.
For sure.
As kind of a long-winded tangent, but
No, it's 100%. A lot of people, I agree with you. A lot of people might not, or this actually happened with a pre-made recently that we have for sale right now. We have like one copy left, but we have a New York pre-made, and it's the 4th, right? And I swear I'm gonna like tie this around to what you said. We're gonna go in a circle, but I'm gonna take you there.
the journey. Let's go.
Good. But it's a 4th, and it's like kind of almost like a backdrop, right? Because it's neighborhood New York City, kind of Brooklyn area. And a lot of people see it and they go, well, there are no skyscrapers here. There's no,
but
big
it's
ass
neighborhood.
Yeah, because it's neighborhood, exactly.
Yeah.
And people don't live in Times Square. I mean, like, yes, you want to pay an insane amount for a shoebox. Realistically, unless you're renting one of those apartments, on top of Broadway, you don't live in. So,
can you repeat that?
My headset's so horrible. Yeah, I said, but realistically, people don't live in Times Square unless you're like renting one of those apartments on top of Broadway. You're not going to live there. So, but we've gotten to the point where now we just need to tell people that the preconceived notion, absolutely 100%. You were so right on that. But also following the kind of recommendations of space. One of the reasons this sim seems so immersive because it's full sim.
Yeah, true.
We have a lot of space to be able to do the countryside behind us, to do the town in the middle, and to do like our art exhibit well, it's not ours, it's just our building, but the exhibit of artists that are in there with their sculptures and their art, very talented. I hope you guys have seen. It's amazing. But to kind of to do a transition of like the town out that way, a mixture of both, and then transition directly to countryside because of the. But a lot of our clients don't realize that they want things like full cities and full. And a lot of time we have to tell people we can't do that. I mean, we can literally drop anything down, but you don't want us to.
Yeah, you got to scale it to what your size is.
You got to. Clients don't realize how thick the roads are in a cityscape.
Oh yeah.
And how much room that takes, you know? So some things, you know, it might anger people, but we have to say we just cannot do because the result will not look like you would think it would look.
What they want it to, yeah.
Yeah. One thing some people don't realize as well, some people like layers. This sim has some layers. We love terraforming. Terraforming is bread and butter to landscapes.
The vertical layering is fantastic, and I love that it's peaked with a bunch of birds.
But what a lot of people don't realize is terraforming takes up 30% more land because it has to be done on an incline. We're not going straight up. And I had a conversation with somebody about this recently because they were like, well, other landscapers do it, but they do it with prims. And prims change the look of everything.
They do.
We can't blend prims. Yeah. So there's really a huge fundamental difference, but I encourage people to just kind of think outside of how they think, you know, because everyone has a style. We're really not good with fantasy stuff. You know, there are other landscapers that are better with the elves and the dwarves and unicorn types. So
right.
I apologize if that sounded condescending. It's not. It's just we're not good with it, you know.
No, it's just honest. Yeah, so. You know what your forte is. Yeah.
I tell people all the time when they come to inquire about hiring us, you know, when you're going to hire a landscaper, and I hope people are listening to me on this, let me penetrate your brains here.
Look in world.
Look in. Thank you, honey. Exactly what Kaiden said. Look in world. Go to the land. Go to the landscaper's work. Do not look at their pictures. Some landscapers literally use AI at this time in our world. You know, that's the culture we're in. Look at their work. Pay close attention to your investment. Do not waste your money. If you need to wait, which is column we do articles in order to protect your investment, if you need to wait, that's okay. It's better to wait and get someone that you know will. And if they're good, they're probably busy. They're going to be booked.
Yeah.
But it's better to wait than to waste your money and then not have something and then need to go hire someone else and spend more money. Because nobody wins that way. And then people are skeptical of landscapers. They're afraid to invest. I've had so many people tell me, well, I don't hire. I had a bad experience. Well, keep yourself from having those bad experiences. Do research. Look into your investments. Protect yourself from the get-go.
Yeah.
And your headphone's cutting out a lot more again, so I'm not sure if it needs like a...
I'm going to kick it.
You could try reconnecting to the voice chat. I don't know. Sometimes that helps, but...
You're a genius. Let me do that.
All right. And we'll... Yeah. For just a moment.
Yeah. I'm watching the chat here.
Yep. We got anything interesting going on in chat?
No, I was looking at the Discord to see when she comes back.
Oh.
And then I know Kissick was calling out Pandora for saying, apparently she says they have a bad headset.
Okay. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
All right.
Hopefully this is better. Yeah.
Hopefully.
So one of the things that you had
Hopefully I
said,
kicked
I
it
just
hard
want to
enough.
ask because it cut out and I wanted to be clear. I wasn't sure if you were referencing, you said that something about a column. Were you talking about Love to Decorate briefly? Or was it,
Yes.
okay, because you do have a column in that SL magazine. And is it every month you're in Love to Decorate, or is it just here and there?
To be honest, it's when shut up, Kizik. To be honest, it's whenever we can. Things have been kind of crazy lately, and unfortunately, we used to have 3 fur children, and we lost one. But normally we try to do once a week, once every 2 weeks. We write a column.
Yeah.
No, I was curious about that because I feel like there's been kind of, at least from my perspective, there's been a little bit of like an ebb and flow in SL magazines because that was something that was in my history in SL. And so Love to Decorate is one that I remember seeing come into creation, and I'm glad it's still alive and kicking because I feel like SL magazines come and go pretty quickly. So when I saw that it was still going, I was pleased to see that because I do think it's a quality magazine that people should check out.
Well, it has an incredible editor owner, which is Duchess Flux, and she is a blogger manager for an insane. I don't even know how this lady does it. She's just phenomenal. I'm jealous of her time management skills, but she manages an insane amount of brands. So it's an incredible source,
And I did link it in the description so folks can reference the article that was about the sim here. So if people are curious, the link is there.
Since you kind of were leaning into a bit like what people can expect and wanting to protect their investment and such, wanted to ask, and I think this is mostly for you, Pandora, but how, if a client wanted to, how do you approach working with a client? What can their expectations be from first consultation all the way to sign off, and kind of what is your expectation of them? What can their expectation be from you and such? So yeah, walk us through that a little bit.
Ooh, that's a good question. I like that question.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have Bestie. We have a pretty awesome efficient system that we've worked out. And so when a potential client contacts us, I speak to them and I give them a quote. And that quote obviously is a very important quote because it's an accurate quote and we stick to it. So I try to get as much information as I can that I know will affect the price of the project. And then from there, we require the funds, and a couple of potential clients have asked us why we require all the funds up front. It's been a matter of contention with only some people, not many. And what I explained to them is that we would love to be able to do it a different way. Actually, to be honest, I think it's an ancient tradition, isn't it? That it used to be with landscapers and decorators that half would be upfront and half would be when the project concluded. But I think that's very impractical. Now there's been reports of landscapers getting locked out of lands and it becoming problematic. But to be honest, we just can't handle the volume that we do. You know what I mean? And then add that form of follow-up to make sure everything gets tied up like that. So it's just too overwhelming for us. We are only 2 people. So we require the funds up front. And then we ask them to fill out a form, and it's a very comprehensive form. That form has questions like whether they want PBR. It requires photos. a description of any details that they want on the land, and it makes it clear that everything that is on that form will be reviewed and done. And if we have any problems, we contact them before the project starts. Because realistically, some people feel like... Sorry, 1 second.
Sorry, our dog is barking.
Yeah,
I get that.
Dogs
I had to shut the door on mine because they decided they were going to be vocal right at the start of stream. They've been quiet the whole time.
We don't mind the furry ones joining in, and I'm sure the audience does not mind a little friendship from dogs.
Yeah, he's a German Shepherd mixed with a Belgian.
Oh, you're speaking my language, Kaiden. One of our dogs is a Belgian Malinois.
Oh, wow.
He is insane.
I'm so sorry for you. I don't know why we do this to ourselves.
I had a shepherd before, and so when I see him and he's doing his thing, I'm like, you are such a shepherd. Like, he's just insane, but he's adorable. I love him. Our other dog, is for the record, is a lab.
Smartest dogs.
They're the best dogs. And they are the most evil dogs all at the same time. I don't know how they do it.
Yep, this dog is always throwing paws. He's super tall. Like, he'll stand up and paws out, and we always just throwing paws. I've gotten a paw to the face more than once, so.
Honey, I'm just letting you know he's probably about to go eat the neighbor's children.
Oh.
Just letting you know.
All right, I'm gonna sort that out. Be right back.
Thank you, honey.
Protect the children.
Protect the children, save the children. Thank you. See that. So sorry about that. So the next the next thing we do is the forum, and it's very thorough, and we make it clear that any conversations that we've had in different chats like Instagram or Facebook or whatever, or in World, we can't reference that because it's just too overwhelming. We're like always switching. Yeah, we get it all in the forum, one place. No cards, no nothing like that can get lost in the sauce. And then a day or so before we start, we check to make sure the land permissions and menu is all selected. We have all the edit rights that we need. And then we start on the day of. We keep a very regimented schedule. So we have a calendar, and we put all our projects on the calendars, including our personal ones, like Costa. And we start on that morning, and we work like a daytime schedule. And then at some point we stop for what Kaiden calls tea, what us Americans call dinner. And and then that's it. And we try to do everything personal, like our shopping and different things like that after that time period, after we've worked our scheduled days. So we do fourths in about a day and a half.
Whoa.
Halves a day and a half.
That's
a full sim, depending on what's on it. Like if it's cityscape is the most complex of landscaping.
Yeah.
So if there's cityscape and it's a full sim, it can easily take like 3 to 4 days, depending on what it is. And events usually take about a week and no longer.
Those are way faster timetables than I expected to hear. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I said to people, I think it's really hard working in SL. The hardest part is the discipline. It's pretty awesome that Kaiden has always had that discipline. So it makes it easier, but it's really hard because Kaiden's autistic, when he loses footing in something, so like let's say he doesn't work for like a week or 2 weeks, right? He takes off. Coming back and getting back in that mode is like really hard. So I think that's the hardest part. But focusing on detail and layouts and things like that, his autistic mind is very good with. So it's really awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, when you're like building a quarter or a half, like when you're doing a full region, obviously you have a lot more freedom. But like if you're doing a quarter or a half, how do you handle like situations where it's like you have to deal with the fact that the neighbors or adjacent parts of the region maybe aren't on board exactly with the build? Have you ever had to struggle with incongruency like that?
I mean, we have, and we try our best to try to identify that to clients,
Mm-hmm.
because really, you know, I know this isn't exactly fair, but realistically, it's kind of, you know, a burden they have to bear, because like regardless of what we do, right, they're still going to be left with their neighbors. They're still
Yeah,
going to be
exactly.
dealing with their landlords. And I'll be honest with you, we love having a full sim because we love using
Yes.
sim surrounds.
Yes, I
And
noticed that. Yeah.
people will fight with you to the death over a sim surround. So
We love a good sim surround.
Yes,
and
we do.
Like some of the like crazy cloud things that you've got going on here. Like I see you've got the those like surround clouds as well as the environment clouds going on. I love it.
yeah, you know what? We actually did a community, and we don't have the storm system here, but we did a community that has a storm system.
Ooh.
And people go to that community just to like storm watch, because
Oh,
the
fun.
clouds gradually turn dark, and then they have all these sounds, and then yeah. Is it okay? I can put a link in here.
Yes.
And if people want to go to it, what it is it's all our public in-world work. And they can, it's like all of them are public, so people can visit it and see our work. And it's the, I'm trying to remember what community it is. It's the Olympia Park community. If you want to go there and storm watch, feel free.
If you drop the link in the Discord chat, then I can put it in YouTube easier, because I don't have local open right now. Thank you.
You're cool.
There, and can do it. We can throw it in the video description after the fact too.
Awesome. All people have to do in that is click the word portfolio that's on the left.
Okay.
And it'll give you like a whole list. Of course, Costa's on here too, but these are all our clients that have given us the green light because their lands are public, so their stores or venues or whatever, and they're open to visit.
And I do have that linked in the description already, but I did drop it in the chat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Awesome. I love it. So yeah, that's one of the places, but they have some incredible things in SL, and that's one of those things where like we had to talk to the clients and let them know, you know, this is going to create an experience. The people are going to have to accept this. You know, it's going to have scripts in it. It's going to have an effect on the land. And so it's the same with the forests and halves. A lot of people want cityscape. A lot of them want tall buildings and big roads. And
that's rough if you're on a quarter or a half, though.
Exactly. You're going to have landlords and neighbors just arguing with you and saying, take it down.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So we just try to warn people of that. You know, it's, we had crazy situations. Like we had a client whose landlord changed the parcel line after we landscaped, and some of the landscape was on the neighbor's land suddenly, and we went back and we were like, now we know it would have returned it to us if this had happened before, and told us we can't res there, so the parcel line has been moved. And you know, those things, they're really unfortunate. There's not really much we could do but explain and try to help in whatever way we can.
So a short rule of thumb, if someone is expecting like a cityscape, don't try to do it on a full region. Like, come on.
Or half. We can do a lot on a half.
All right. All right.
But yeah, we can't do it on a 4th. If we did, it wouldn't look good.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't.
It just doesn't. We have that New York pre-made and it's a 4th, but like we talked about, it's a neighborhood.
Yeah.
People are like, well, it doesn't have a house to live in, and it's like, we can't fit that on a 4th. It's none of our landscaping can't create land.
No, it's a thing.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm spoiled. I don't know how people do it with the 4th. Like I've tried, like Tour knows, I've like rented parcels in different places, and if I'm getting just a little like sliver, I mean the neighbors absolutely play a factor. Like, nope, I'm not going to rent next to that. And then trying to work that small little piece of land, I'm spoiled. We have a full region, and then I live on another sim. We have, with our landlady, Kala. Shout out to Kala, who's amazing.
I got to break in here real briefly.
Oh, go ahead.
This just is funny because when we met and when we were getting together and stuff, we were just hanging out. Yeah, I have this little parcel in a region called Unity, which Kala is our landlord for.
Yep.
And I was just in a weird box that Kala put down, and I decorated it with some random stuff, but it was really just I was just getting back into SL and just needed a place to call home. And Consuelo started hanging out there. She started decorating there and wanting it to feel more lived in. And then I just casually dropped, "Oh, by the way, I also have a homestead region." She's like, "What? What are you using it for?" "Oh, what?" Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Finish. You're gonna say it. Go ahead.
Because I was just using it to do like scripting projects because I didn't want to interrupt or cause any like lag on some of the things that I was playing with.
And that part is the part that killed me. I'm like, excuse me, hang on a second. You have a whole sim that's empty so that you can script on it. And this is
I'm going to side with Tour.
Of course.
Okay.
Most people do.
But I have a landscaping reason. I swear to you, I wouldn't throw you in the water unless there was a good reason. I promise. And the reason is because we have a homestead too, and we call it the sandbox.
Yeah.
And literally all we use it for is creating the pre-mades, showing the pre-mades, and just building. And the reason is that those 5K prims are killer. You have so much land, but you only have 5K prims. And those 5K prims go so fast, it is really hard to clutter and landscape and put that detail on all that land. The majority of our clients that hire us for homesteads, please don't misunderstand, we'll put in 120% effort. We're never going to just slack off a project ever. But we have to sink a lot of it.
Yeah.
Because it's too much land for 5K prims.
It is.
I swear to you.
And so
it forces your hand on that.
We did end up fully upgrading.
That's what I was going to say. It was a homestead, and then it became a full region. So
yeah, once she moved in, it's like,
well,
there goes the neighborhood.
I am a known prim whore, so I'm not going to tell the story again, but I do, like, when I met him, he had this little parcel in Unity that was mostly trees and a brick building, and I was like, what are you doing? And when I realized how big his parcel is, I'm like, we got to clear these trees and get a bigger house. What are you doing? And so that's what happened.
It was mostly foliage. Mostly foliage.
Yeah, then he dropped the other part about the homestead, and I'm like, you're just full of surprises. So we actually live on that sim now. And then now let's see, in addition to your original, we kept his original parcel in Unity for sentimental reasons, and we actively use it. And then I've recently rented out two more in Unity. So I feel like I also kind of have another sim that I can have fun on. But it's all because it's Kala and she's amazing and she lets me do things. But I was not good at being a renter where I only had the 4th. Because either the land people irritated me or the neighbors irritated me, and I was like, I just need to pick up my prims and go back home. I can't do this. So I'm spoiled. I just don't understand. I would love to see where you've just done the fourth, and like, what does even the rest of the sim look like? Like, they should let you do the whole sim.
Yeah, I mean, if they knew it was good for them, they would just say, "Yeah, would you just fill in the rest? We'll just pay you, just paint in the rest of the picture."
Right. So, anyway.
I feel you. We had someone buy one of our pre-mades recently that was a fourth, and they had a half, and they were telling us, "Yeah, I'm just gonna. Can I have your edit rights so I can unlink it and I can move it, because all our pre-mades are linked together for easy dropping." And I said, "Absolutely, sure, we'll give you those rights." And I'm like, "But that's not gonna look good." And I think one of the professional challenges I face, because like we've talked about facing so much scrutiny, is trying to find ways to be honest and help people, even though I know they're not going to like my responses, but I'm still just trying to help them, you know? And I don't want to kind of like beat around the bush when it's their money and I know they're going to be frustrated afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I do.
So I had to explain, you know, if you want to do this, we're not going to stop you, but you're probably not going to be happy with the result, because you're going to tear apart, you know, prims that are locked together and
Something
try
that was
to
meticulously arranged. Yeah.
for a fourth. And that's kind of what we were talking about before, and I feel like it ties into that, is people have different understandings of space when they're not landscapers.
Definitely.
Or even some landscapers, to be honest. We just have different opinions, you know? Which is totally fine. But yeah, it makes a huge difference. When we design something for a fourth, it's for a fourth. And if you try to make it something different than that fourth, or to be honest, if you try to have multiple landscapers do the same thing in one land, that's another thing we can't do.
Oh, God,
because everything conflicts. You have some landscapers that don't terraform at all.
Yeah.
And we've had clients come to us and say, you know, "Can you just spruce this up?" And it's like, no, we can't, because there's stuff there. Like, we can't move the stuff. It's not pixie dust. Like, we can't.
See,
so,
and this is, I just want to ask about your fourths, because I was like, this is new to me. I didn't realize that you sold pre-mades until this conversation.
Yeah, on the marketplace.
I'm looking at it on the marketplace, actually, and I just see 3 of them. So if people are interested in your fourths, it's just the marketplace they can get them, or do you have some more in world?
We have so many, and I'm actually, we're trying to juggle the idea of hiring a social media manager, because we can't keep up. Like, we just don't have time.
We've been slacking. I was supposed to put them all on the marketplace 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
And I think we've got 10 pre-mades, and there's only 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they look amazing. So yeah, I'll put that link too for people to see the store that you have online. But in world, because I remember I think I followed a link in one of your profiles, and it wasn't a store as far as I could tell. It looked like maybe it was the sandbox. I'm not sure. It looked like there were different things kind of just scattered about, so I wasn't sure if I was in the right place. But do you have like a store, like an in-world where people can go and see, or is it all through the link you shared before in the portfolio, or all through the marketplace? Like, how do people even take a look at what's the best way, the best avenue for them to kind of like get a feel for what you have to offer for the folks who are not aware?
We try to post our pre-mades in all our sources, but we fail miserably. We have a Facebook page.
Yeah.
And ironically, it's a weird use of the word ironically, sorry, contextually there, that link, our KaidenTray Landscapes page, Facebook page, is on the link that you put in the comments on portfolio. It's at the very top.
Okay.
And we have a Instagram for the page, and that is right under that link on the page that you linked at the top. So those 2 sources have all of our pre-mades.
Okay.
We also have a Discord.
I love your Discord. I'm in it. And you guys are good about posting your activities. And that's what actually happened that night. when we came to see DJ Nettie is a post came up. I think it was like really good about like 30 minutes before something's going to start. There's a post. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, hey, we actually had different plans that night. And then I was like, oh, hey, look, this is going on at Costa di Luce. So let's go check this out. And that's how we came about it. So I don't know. Tour knows I'm huge on Discord servers. And so whenever yours pings, I'm like, okay, what musical thing is going on and can we make it?
I'm so glad you're saying that because, to be honest, we slack a lot with Discord, and we need to stop.
It doesn't seem like that, honestly, Pandora.
Really? Okay. Are you listening to this, Kaiden? Discord. Post some pre-mates in the
Yes, I do try to.
Do this.
Yeah, like today, I tried my best to.
I saw that.
Let people know. Yep. I know about this YouTube.
You know, honestly, Kaiden, I felt really special when you did that. I was like, oh, look, it's like when they have musical performers who are getting a little sim-wide, or not sim-wide, but server-wide poke. Like, hey, everyone, something's going on. I'm like, yay, it's us.
The thing is that we're trying to be better about connecting with people, because I'll be real with you, despite the fact that we try to, and we've actually had people tell us that we are like, we act snobby and snotty and I'm a demon and God bless his chat. That's really been said to me. Okay. But realistically, like, we are the type of people where we like to, first of all, we like people. We like to be around people.
I could say one story about.
Go ahead, honey.
Sure.
So, all right. So when we opened Wandering, someone came on the sim, and because voice was enabled there, like anyone could talk, and this guy came up to me on voice, shouting and screaming at me, saying, "Oh, you're so stuck up. You don't talk to anyone." Stuff like that, and he randomly said, "You don't look Christian." I don't know what that was all about.
That mean?
I do not know. But
that's exactly what Kaiden said. What does that mean?
He was like screaming at me just because I wouldn't talk on voice.
Okay, that's creepy and weird.
And just calling me a snob and stuck up, and I'm far from that.
I will tell you another story. We didn't get a chance to talk about this last night, but so there was an organization, and they will remain nameless because I'm not going to call people out and start anything, but I'm just going to tell the story. So this nameless organization had Kaiden in it to do landscaping and do an article. This is not Love to Decorate, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. They've never done this to us. So Kaiden was on their team, and this was actually a time where I was in the UK visiting Kaiden. So I wasn't in the States. We were in the same flat, and I had been helping him, I think, for how long, honey? Maybe a year and a half at that point. Yeah. So we were not a new, team for KaidenTray Landscapes. So they wanted Kaiden to go to meetings, staff meetings, and discuss what was going on in the projects. And I explained to who was the quote-unquote immediate supervisor at the time, I really need to be at these meetings because it helps. Like, I'm basically an emotional support girlfriend at that time. We weren't married then. Sure. But it helps for me to be there. And if all these messages about interviews and stuff like that could go through me, it would be helpful because I can help filter them out. And at that time, I was writing the interviews, I still kind of do, but I was writing the responses to the interviews anyway in text. So it was kind of like, since I'm going to be playing this role anyway, you're just making my life easier. But what would happen was they would not do that, and then they would contact Kaiden, and then Kaiden would get overwhelmed. So I'd try to help him and be like, okay, who are you meeting with? What do they need? And Kaiden would be like, I don't know. There was so much going on. I had so much anxiety. I just said, yes, I'm going to do it. And I'm like, okay, I guess we'll figure out what you're doing, right? But realistically, that's how it was shaping up. That's how it was going. So I tried to repeatedly reach out to this organization, and I tried to explain to them, listen, as this builds, this is going to turn into episodes, and it's not helping. It's becoming very stressful. If you could please work with me. And to say that I couldn't be at a meeting when I'm literally a laptop away from him anyway is ridiculous.
Right.
Because all it's making me do is have to ask him to get up to type to respond, because I can't be in the same room on another device. So it was just insane. This escalated very quickly when the owner of said organization wanted to be a part of Wondering, in the sense that they wanted a magazine, I don't know how to explain this, booth, I guess, like a little office at Wondering, which is fine because we had multiple businesses like Mura and at the time Beauty Stamped and various other different businesses that we were trying to help support and promote at Wondering. So it was fine to have another one. We were happy to do that. But I had a talk with the owner and I explained, we need to get this out the way first, because if we're going to do this, we need an understanding. Like, there needs to be some type of respect and acknowledgement and good business, right?
Yeah, you were saying this is how we operate. These are our boundaries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, this reached a head when said organization did an article, actually a video about Wondering, that we saw from YouTube, because we did not know it was going to be filmed.
Oh.
And when it was filmed, it explained that Wondering was done by KaidenTray, and it was his sim. And the article that I had done about Wondering and I had written the responses to had been changed to literally only mention Kaiden. And that really infuriated me, not because I need flowers, but because I handled the business side of Wondering and our businesses. So if people don't realize that I need them to come to me for these things, they're going to flood Kaiden when he's landscaping.
Yeah.
And that's going to lead to anxiety, and then we're going to be back to square one again.
Which, as a reminder, is a 12-hour-a-day process.
Right.
Yes, which is and I don't know if our audience or you guys know people with autism, but when you get them off that track, that's it. It'll take 2 hours. Like, Kaiden's going to need to clean something. He's going to need to play with the dogs. He's going to need to do something else. He's going to panic. He's going to listen to music. It's going to be a whole process. So I was trying to explain, this is really important. This might seem trivial, but this is really important to our lives. I could spend 4 hours trying to calm Kaiden down a day. It matters. Please, if you would, understand, business gets through me. It would help if people know that, so they're not all spamming Kaiden, which at that time they were.
Right. Absolutely.
So I tried to explain this. I was told that I was making it all about me.
Oh, God.
And it was really frustrating because, once again, kind of like we had this conversation last night, it's like, I'm not doing this to be difficult. We're not doing this to be difficult. We're just trying to, have everyone on a solid page so the best product can be delivered. Right. And it's crazy. Just if people don't have an understanding, that's totally okay. Not everyone's going to know about autism. Not everyone's going to understand how it works or the triggers or anything like that. But if someone's trying to explain it to you, and it doesn't even need to be just autism. It could be ADHD. It could be any type of neurodiversity. But people
could just be personal preference. I mean, that's just,
it could.
You said this is how we operate. People should just respect that from the get-go. They could ask for more explanation, but they're not owed that. But they should respect that, absolutely. Sorry for jumping in. That just, I'm
clearly.
Oh, no, you're totally fine.
Consuela hears my annoyed voice.
I
coming
do.
out.
I do.
I get bitey over these things.
Yeah. I just keep thinking every time
Or
I hear you.
Respect the process.
Every time you've discussed this or shared your thoughts on this, Pandora, it just, to me, I always just come away with folks having just this overwhelming sense of entitlement. And I felt like for a time, I felt like it was a lot of SL, because I've been in SL a long time. And so I feel like there's been a lot of entitlement in SL for a long time. But I also see this in First Life quite a bit, and in my line of work, and I'm an educator, so I work in education. And just seeing, because again, I've been in education a long time too, and just seeing this wave of entitlement that just seems to come from every direction. And it's really frustrating that people aren't more, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, just, I don't want to say empathetic or
they want
considerate,
everyone to march
like
out the way they want to serve them only, and whatever they're going through doesn't matter, and that's bullshit.
Yep, agreed.
To serve them for sure, but not just to serve them in the way that they want to be. Like, it has to literally be their process. Yeah. And that's what blows my mind, because it's like, there's so much about it that blows my mind. You know, people can, we kind of talked about this last night, but we've had people say that I ruin the business despite numbers and despite our busy schedule. We've had people say that I hold Kaiden against his will, that all he wants to do is listen to MGK and Landscape, and I make his life difficult.
That's pretty much true, though. I do listen to MGK constantly.
That part, I don't keep you in the basement. Let's go on the record to be clear.
Like yes, that's what he wants to do, and you enable him to do that, and that's the beauty of that.
I do.
Dynamic. Exactly.
I do. I've told people at one point on social media, I said that I hope the day comes that Kaiden doesn't landscape in SL anymore, and people got really mad at me for that, because they were like, "Oh no, that's what he wants to do. You're running his dreams," and I was like, "But you guys don't understand what it's done to his mental health. Like, well, it's so much better now. We've made changes and have boundaries and created structure."
Good.
But there were days where Kaiden was like crying, like, "I never want to do this again." He was going to quit. And I'm like, I wish people would understand how far you push this person.
Yeah.
How you make him not want to do this anymore. So if you appreciate his work, then stop.
Yeah.
Because you're destroying it and him, you know? And so luckily, you know, since my career and we're married, he doesn't have to, but he, you know, we choose what projects we want to take. And if something doesn't feel right about it, or it's just not a good match, we say no, we can't accept your project, we apologize. But it took us a while to get there and instill those boundaries. Kaiden had no boundaries when I helped him in the beginning. And now it's just so much better.
That's good. I'm very glad to hear that you've gotten a process that's healthier for both of you. Because
it's a difficult thing to be an artist, you know, like automatically creativity, I think, affects us in a different way. And I don't know how you both feel about it, but I feel like bullying in the process of creativity and just negative energy and just a type of isolation is just very detrimental.
It poisons
in artists
for sure.
Yeah. So I really hope I've tried to help a couple of other decorators and landscapers understand the need for boundaries with clients, and I really hope that they heed my advice and that people do, because we do lose a lot of creativity in SL from people who are burned out, who don't hold their boundaries and get overwhelmed, and are just in a very negative place in SL in general.
Yeah.
All because they worked in it.
Yeah. And something we kind of touched on briefly last night, that is in part why we kind of started up behind the brand. Not only do we just have a genuine curiosity and interest in knowing more about people, but also I feel like it's very important to to try to combat that sense of entitlement that people have, to kind of pull back the curtain and humanize people behind these labels, because a lot of times I think people get caught up on just looking at it as, well, that's just a faceless business and it should just do what I want because I want to pay for a thing I want. Ignoring the fact that there are very real and very complicated human beings behind every single prim that's been placed in Second Life, every single texture that's been made, every single, event that's gone on.
For sure.
And it's something that always people should keep in mind, just whenever interacting with folks. So, yeah, and also just on our behalf, really genuinely appreciate y'all's willingness to go into some of those challenges and articulate some of the messier history that has occurred because people won't work with you on the terms that you're laying out, because I think that is also important for people to hear, and just to understand some of that context, and also so they can kind of check themselves when they're approaching not just you but any creator about something that they might be interested in, and say, hey, am I listening to them as well? Am I actually respecting the artist that I'm approaching about this thing? So that's my hope anyway.
Absolutely, 100%. On the plus side, I can tell you, those that do give us hate also can make Kaiden happy, because it makes him feel like MGK. Because he says that, he's like, everybody hates MGK and people just want to hate on me. Fine, like I'm like MGK. So thank you for giving us that experience.
Fantastic.
I don't know if do you think the audience is going to be lost on that reference? Should we talk more about that?
I'm lost in it because I don't know anything about MGK.
Well, okay, so where this it goes, it's just some people are going to see behind the veil a little bit, because I don't want the audience to be lost, to be like, why is she talking about MGK? And it's
Consuela knows these things a lot better than I do.
Well, okay, so I have to look some stuff up too. It's not like I know all the music, but so one of hip hop and stuff a lot better. I do, and but I don't make any assumptions, right? So part of the process that we do behind the brand is once we reach out and we establish that we're going to do an interview. I like to try. We're only I don't know however many episodes deep into this, but it's become a thing where I like to think about what background music we play behind the interview, because I like laying in music. And I got tired of laying in the same lo-fi coffee house kind of stuff. So I started asking the folks that we're interviewing, what's a favorite genre of music of yours? So I can look for some no copyright music to lay in behind it. And it's become a fun pre-interview question. So I forgot to ask this last night when I was checking in with you both. So I'm like, oh, it's usually something I ask the day of anyway. So I just get in our little Discord chat and I ask, okay, so favorite genre of music, and Kaiden, immediate MGK. And I'm like, oh, okay, let me look that up. And so, and I saw who it was. I'm like, oh yeah, I know who this is. And so MGK, Machine Gun Kelly. And I just wanted to make sure that I had music that you all liked, or I guess in this case Kaiden likes, behind the interview. Now obviously I can't play MGK because of copyright, but I went with kind of a instrumental hip hop kind of vibe behind the interview. And I just, it's something just to kind of make it a little bit more a little bit more comfortable, a little bit nicer when you listen to it later. That, hey, yeah, I really like that background music. It's just a minor little detail. Like I was saying before, we sound check and everything because I want everybody to sound their best. it's just about the whole package, right? Like I want not only to, to hear from you and to celebrate you and to allow other residents to kind of see behind the veil a little bit and get to know, their favorite designers, but just to make it a nice thing for everyone involved. That's all.
That's kind of what I was talking about with you before we actually started streaming and officially doing this interview. Is we love that because there's a sense it exceeds professionalism. It's about a passion and a love for what you do and that quality. And so few people have that, regardless of what they're doing. I have it when it comes to law and utilizing it there. We have it with our clients and landscaping. You have it with your show performance and relating to your audience. And it's so rare, I feel, in today's culture and society, because I feel like a lot of people just do it because they're trying to do something. Does that make sense? But they're not trying to do what they love as that something.
Yeah.
And it's a very difficult mind frame, for sure. So I think that our energies sync so well because of that, because we're obviously a group of those types of people. And that's really nice to relate to.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I also think that a lot of people have a inclination to kind of hide who they are and only be performative on a very surface level, so as to, at least the thinking goes, not alienate anyone, even though the very act of doing that is inherently alienating everyone by not like being genuine, if that makes sense. So I don't know.
I love the audience question. Is MGK a genre? Basically.
Right. It's like, no, but yeah, it's sure it is. Yeah. I just love that Kaiden came out so quickly out of the gate with an answer. I'm like, well, I got to make this happen. Like, this is what he wants, but I can't, I can't do copyright stuff or else YouTube's just going to take it down anyway. So
he's touring now. His date just came out.
God, here we go.
I was like, oh, we need to go. So I did the email thing. So hopefully we should get like priority tickets and
oh wow,
bam. I like that's like I really want to meet him, but hopefully, because I saw him 3 times in the UK. I went to the recent one I saw was at the Royal Albert Hall in London, and that was like really cool. But yeah, this hopefully I think it's gonna be in December in Brooklyn, so I'm actually gonna go to Brooklyn.
Nice.
Like, as I went to New York City, but like that was the first time going there, like especially from JFK, and coming to America, first time in New York City and JFK, I was what was it, Jessica Pandora? They put.
Okay, now everybody knows my real life first name is Jessica.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. Everyone can know that. It's fine. They interrogated you. That's the word you're looking
for 2 hours. So I couldn't really experience New York City for them 2 days. But hopefully this time in December we be able to enjoy it and hopefully see MGK.
Well, what's funny is when I said to Pandora, when I said to you both, well, I can't really play MGK because of copyright. And you're like, I'm fine with an MGK break.
Yeah. So I'm just going to give you guys a preview of the real Kaiden. Okay. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
You ready to take this trip with me?
Sure.
Okay.
So this is my life. So you guys know our dynamic that Kizik gets to see almost every couple of days, I guess, because he spends a lot of time with this on voice. Kizik is Kaiden's kind of like UK bro buddy, right? and so he goes with us pretty much everywhere. Like we take him sometimes to the store. He hears us like just mics down the whole 9 yards all the time. And a couple of things I can tell you that give the bigger picture.
Sure.
So Kaiden is, and obviously I won't go into detail about stories that aren't mine to tell, but I can tell you that Kaiden has had like a really difficult first life, right? Growing up and stuff like that. And it really makes him like a very humble person. So people who think that Kaiden is like very snobby and detached, it couldn't be far from the truth. He's one of the most humble people in the world. And most of the time, if something goes wrong, he'll actually think it's his fault and not anybody else's. So it just brings him like that much higher in the humble train. And he relates to MGK, and it's this like really intense emotional bond because like it got him through a very difficult time, you know, in his life. So he is like very, very, very attached to MGK. Now that you understand that, now that I've said that, I just want to give you a little glimpse behind the scenes. So obviously Kaiden's upstairs right now. I'm downstairs. We have 2 offices. His is upstairs, mine's downstairs. The dogs obviously are running up and down the stairs between the 2 of us, wondering what we're doing and why we're not paying attention to them. So I messaged Kaiden and World just a couple of moments ago, and I'm like, hey honey, do you want to say anything about how things make you feel? Because I'm conscientious of the fact that I'm basically explaining all this stuff about people and, you know, how they're perceiving him and how it affects him and this kind of stuff. And so I'm like, do you want to kind of like throw your words out there, right? So he's like, no, it's fine. You said it. And I'm just like, okay. And he's like, you basically said it already. And I'm like, I know, but I figured you might want to, you know, just throw some words in there and like people can understand it's coming from you. He's like, yeah, no. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, it's a lot. And I'm like, no, you're doing fine. You're doing great. Everything's fine. And he's like, okay. And then you talk about MGK, and that's it. And now he's going to talk to you.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm just like, oh, man.
Yeah. Okay, so I have to say, as some of this conversation has been going on, I had to look up a little bit, and okay, I'll have to listen, but I might be an MGK convert just on the fact that he's out here. He was out there during Black Lives Matter protests. He did a cover of "Killing in the Name of" and all this stuff. He's very vocally against like state violence and stuff. All positions that are very near and dear to my heart. So I might have to. I'm gonna give this guy a listen because that's very much. Yeah.
You should. And another person you should listen to is Youngblood. I don't know if you've heard of Youngblood, but he's a great artist too.
Okay.
I recommend that. He done a song with MGK.
And someone who calls Kaiden and he'll hang up on his wife.
What?
Okay, years ago, before Youngblood became popular, Kaiden and I can't talk today. Youngblood were friends in real life.
Wow.
Oh.
And so, like they would talk and they know each other. And when we were in a serious relationship, this is like when I came back from the UK, I was on a phone call with Kaiden one day, and there's all kinds of chaos going on, and all I hear is Dom's calling me. And then he hung up on me.
Oh.
And I'm like, what? I was so mad. So every time, you know, Dom comes up or whatever, I'm just like, oh, you know, that's your friend. That's your buddy. That's fine. Just hang up on me if you need to, I guess. Yeah.
That's
what I mean. Like, that's who Kaiden is. Like, he doesn't tell stories. He's just like, whatever. He's very... I tell all the stories. I tell all our secrets, and I get the looks for talking too much.
She always does. I don't even know why she would do that.
Yeah, I'll have to give Youngblood a listen because I feel like I've heard the name before, but I'm looking at the songs right now and I'm not sure that I've listened. So I'll check that one out for sure, Kaiden. Thank you.
Of course, if you like rock music, I'm sure you'll like it.
I know I'm reading the little bit of description punk, rock, pop, hip hop. It's like a blend. So I'm like, oh, that already sounds interesting.
His cover of, what is that song? Made to Love Me? Made to Love You? That one?
I Was Made for Loving You
phenomenal.
is what it looks like.
Yes, I Was Made for Loving You.
Mhm.
Yes. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. So good. And his new song with Aerosmith, so good. Oh, they sound good together.
You see in the chat, Pandora, Kissick saying that he would hang up on you too.
Oh no, Kissick.
He does. He hangs up on me to talk to Kaiden.
Oh,
That's
man.
his romance. That's totally fine, Kissick. I'm used to it. I know
funny.
you.
Oh, funny.
Well, Kaiden, see, I'm going to tell our secrets again. So just close your ears for a second, Kaiden. He's that way though, okay? So one day, I'm taught, this is like when we were in the UK. So we're talking, and I don't know if you know who these people are because they're like very specific music genres. So one day we're talking, and he's talking about his adventures in Los Angeles, right? And he tells me, and then I said to Todrick, and the name like rang bells to me because some of the things, Todrick, right?
Yeah,
and
that stands out to me too.
And I'm thinking of things, and I'm like, honey, Todrick who? And he's like, Todrick, I can't remember his last name. And then I pull up a picture of Todrick Hall.
Yeah.
And I show him my phone, and I'm like, is this Todrick? And he was like, oh, yeah. That's, you know Todrick?
Yes.
And I'm like, Kaiden, are you serious right now? And he's like, yeah. And I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. And he's like, no. So it gets better. I'm like, you do not know Todrick Hall. And he's like, yeah, I do. And I'm like, no, you don't. And he's like, yeah, I do. So he picks up his phone and he WhatsApps Todrick Hall.
Oh, gosh.
And Todrick answers the phone and says, Kaiden from Tinder. I went, what?
Oh my god.
He hangs up the phone, and I went, oh, we're not even talking about Todrick right now. What did he just say? And then it goes into a whole story about they had a bet and how he made an account on Tinder because he was just messing around and it was just a fun game, and talk about an overwhelming day. So,
So this was when everyone's drunk, and I'm gonna say it because it's like from Tinder. So all my friends in America was like, oh, you should check out the American Girls on Tinder. So I was like, all right, let me try it out. And so everyone's like, yeah, Kaiden from Tinder. So yeah.
Wow.
It didn't work
That's
out though,
wild.
on Tinder. I deleted it straight away.
Wow. But you met Todrick Hall.
Yep.
Crazy.
yeah, they were hanging out. Like, it was just nothing. And I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever.
Wow. That's impressive.
So I want to close with a question because we're a little bit over 2 hours, and I just want to we have a has to get to. So I did really want to ask this though, which is do you have any like upcoming projects or collabs or like public sims that you're really excited about and want to like pre-promote or that you're really looking forward to exploring that you'd want to shout out ahead of time?
So, one thing that's been talked about and one thing that's been focused on a lot lately is whether we're going to bring wandering back. We talked about that on social media, and we've gotten a lot of feedback and requests for that. And unfortunately, initially we were going to, in fact, we were going to by June, but then we received the SLEA grant, and we did Costa, and Costa has just been such an overwhelming project, not just the landscaping, but the coordinating with different artists.
Right.
And going outside the box and trying to find those people in different isolated communities. It's been overwhelming.
Yeah.
So we really are not going to have the energy to bring back wandering. However, because realistically, Kaiden drives me crazy about needing to take down his work after only like a couple of months of having it up because he's ready to move on to the next thing. And I'm still trying to put things together from a business perspective. We've kind of come up with a compromise. So this is what we're going to start doing. But it's not going to be done until after Costa is down. So Costa will be up until the end of December. And we'll have multiple performances and plays and collaborations with artists on Costa. So if people are not part of that group, we encourage them to be part of the group. We encourage them to be in the Discord. We encourage them to be on our social media to follow our adventures. We are going to try to get better about all those things to let people know what's going on. That being said, what we have decided to do after December as a compromise is all our projects are now going to be consolidated under KaidenTray Landscapes. So there won't be a Wandering, there won't be a New Deer, there won't be all these different entities. There's just going to be KaidenTray Landscapes and the KaidenTray Landscapes group. So if you're in the Wandering group, if you're in the New Deer group, if you're in any other source, please feel free to combine to that group. There's notices going out in all of them to try to like combine them to Discord and one source, right? Once we take down Costa, we're going to start doing experiences.
Oh.
So
I
basically,
really like the sound of that.
That's exciting. Yeah.
So basically what we're going to start doing, we already have 2 destinations that we're going to create. When we create these destinations, not at the same time, at different times, we think the next one will be a destination that's just a destination, kind of like Costa, but it won't be Tuscany, Italy. It'll be a different destination. I'm not gonna say what it is yet because they're still working out all the details on it.
Yeah.
But it will be a destination, and all these destinations will be interactive. We are going to have months in between them, so that they will open and close within like a 2 to 3 month span. And then we will take them down and they will never be up again. So people will have a limited time frame to visit them, take pictures, be a part of it, and then once they are down, they are gone. The first one will probably be in mid next year, but we're trying to figure out whether we could get that one first, or if what we're going to do for our first experience is going to be another Halloween sim. We said that we were never going to do another one, but we have an absolute incredible idea for one, and we're dying to do it. So we're going to do it next year.
Fantastic.
But when I say interactive, I mean there's going to be tours like we did for the New Orleans Halloween sim. There's going to be rentals. There's going to be like actual RP experiences. It's going to be very interactive with activities.
Very
so
cool.
That's what we're going to do. When we take this one down in December, we may need all the way until next year's October, because if we release one before that, then we need a break before we do the Halloween one. So we're still trying to figure out the time frames, but we may end up doing the other one and then taking it down and then doing the Halloween one.
Gotcha.
So all our rentals will just be for that time period, and packages will be for that time period. So when we tell people there are rentals available, your rental term would only be for the period that the sim is up, and that's it. So that's our plans for the future. So please, if you follow us, be in those groups so you can know when those sims open.
And just to recap then, the groups that people need to be in is KaidenTray Landscaping, the group that you join when you come here?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, they're consolidating onto that group.
And then into Discord.
Yes, into Discord, and then of course we post on Facebook and Instagram, and Kaiden uses Twitter. So those are all places that we're going to try to do. But the main thing is that we have, I think, over 1,500 people still in Wandering. So we have notices going out there to let people know, please migrate to the KaidenTray Landscapes group so that everyone can get these notices and it can all be consolidated.
Yeah. I think after the stream is done, I'll go ahead and put the link to the group and the Discord more out clearly in the description so folks can just easily click.
That would be amazing. Thank you. Yeah. We hope they're going to be some really incredible experiences. One of the best feedbacks that we got were the historic tours in New Orleans. And so we want to continue doing stuff like that spreads knowledge. And I'm also passionate about history and traveling. And so that'll be really amazing to bring to people again.
I look forward to experiencing that because, like I said, I've been in SL a long time and I feel like I've totally missed the opportunities that you all have provided before. And so I'm looking forward to being a part of it this time because it sounds amazing.
You know, that really, honestly, completely breaks my heart because when we did the Halloween New Orleans sim, we got this great idea and it was one of the best things I've ever done in SL. It was so awesome. We designed a tour. So remember how I told you we always take inspiration from real life, like the real world stuff. So when we did the New Orleans sim for Halloween, we found specific destinations from like my hometown that I absolutely loved and was passionate about the history behind it. And so when we landscaped that sim, we put all those locations around the sim. And we realized when people went to the sim, they weren't going to know. Like they were going to see it and potentially like the aesthetic, but they wouldn't understand the story behind it unless they were told. So we sold tickets to tours and scheduled them on certain days and posted that schedule. And we had, oh my God, how many people were the last tour, honey? I think it was like close to 100.
Yeah, it was very overwhelming.
It was very overwhelming. It was amazing. And we took everyone to each destination and I told them the historic context behind that virtual place and the stories behind it.
I would love that so much.
They were kind of like quote unquote haunted stories, but they were actually historically accurate. So we weren't just like doing jump scares, right?
Yeah.
And it was incredible. It was just amazing. And I hate that so many people missed it because it was such an amazing experience. It makes me want to do it again.
We did like a raffle as well, and like sponsors like DRD was given away a haunted house.
Generous enough to give away their haunted house sets. Yeah. It was incredible. So we want to do stuff like that again. That was some of the most fun things we've done in SL. And the problem is we did the New Orleans sim 3 years in a row. So in all fairness, we just can't bring that magic back. You know what I mean? I think our last build was the best. To be honest, I don't think we could top that. And that was because PBR came on the scene right when we did it. So the next one is a unique idea. It's a great location. And we'll do the same thing, historic tours for that location. And I think it's going to be amazing.
Sounds like it. And that's just thinking back on what you were saying earlier about, you know, people not being either in the right circles or connected to the right folks at the right time to really capitalize on these really special experiences. That's just one of these. This is an example of that, right? Like I've been here a long time, totally missed out on that. But then, you know, experiences in Second Life are just thinking on the different ones that I've been through over the years. I know Mad P tends to be a big one for us. That's where we, you know, spend that. They've just done a great job creating experiences. And then there was one with DRD that we did. I felt like it was a scavenger hunt of some kind. And it was like a haunted manor or something. I don't know if that's, but anyway, those things, they just are so, I don't know, they're so creative and they're so enriching. And I just want want more people to know about them and get to experience them, because I see all the posts on, SL social media, and it's just about people having nothing to do. They're bored in SL. There's nothing going on. I'm like, that's insane. Like, there is so much going on. You just don't know the right people.
100%. And we get it,
Yeah.
like our time is limited too. We have to choose what I can't even begin to emphasize how empathetic we are to that, because that happens to us all the time.
Happens every time, especially
We're-
with, there's nowhere to roleplay. Oh, there's nowhere to take photos, and there's so many people with destinations, and they just don't go there. Like with when we are wandering, when we closed wandering, people were writing on social media about there isn't a place to hang out or to roleplay, and that was wandering. Wandering was a place for hanging out. We did like book clubs. We did we have events like music concerts, live singers. We even did karaoke, awards. So like we try and bring that to SL for people to enjoy and have things to do.
I'm glad you haven't gotten burned out on it, because we need that.
Well, in a way we do, because when that was happening, like Kaiden was saying, when people were saying those things, it was really frustrating for us, because like we were telling them Wandering's been around for 2.5 years at that point. And we had been, trying to run it without a staff, just the two of us, do all these events, telling people there's a sim here that's designed, and if
we
you
even
have
had
an event,
3 different venues as well for like different types of music and stuff
and plays. We had concerts, so like actual huge scale RP concerts. So we were telling people, if you need a place, this place is here. Utilize it, because we're offering it to you, so you don't need to buy your own sim. So you don't need to
we
decorate
also
it.
had a restaurant there too for that roleplay.
We did with Fet.
Fet.
Yeah.
Is it Fet? Fet? I always get it wrong. Fet. They have a restaurant. They're really good.
Yeah, they are.
The whole thing, yeah.
We had Mira. She had like releases that were there that were just for Wandering. There was a lot there. I mean, we had at one point we had an RP salon for people to come get their nails done. One of our renters created like a virtual library with like books that you could attach and read. So there was a lot there. But people were saying, there's nothing to do, there's nowhere to hang out. And it was just so aggravating, because it's like, but it's here. You just need to go.
Right.
And because we couldn't like create the role play for people.
Right.
It was just too much for us. We didn't have the time. And to be honest, it's not something that we're good with. Like, it's not our specialty.
Yeah, we did try the role play. We had a whole police team. We had a fire team. We had fires. We had explosions. We had bombs.
Medical staff, hospital.
Yeah, just to make the for people to enjoy the role play. But we're not really like role play savvy, so
or have the time to orchestrate.
Yeah, so we just enjoy
like
more like music and the experiences, just like how we did with the Halloween with the tours.
So we do get burnt out. So it's that's why we're going a different route to make these limited, so that we can avoid the burnout and give people a limited time. And when they've come to us, as they have in the past, saying, well, I didn't get a chance to go, we're going to be like, we're sorry, but we can't do this indefinitely. We can't host it forever.
Yeah.
So
there's value in keeping things fresh too, even
for sure.
Definitely. Hopefully, y'all come and enjoy it.
Oh, you'll see us around. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
So, especially because we're besties now.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I know how to get you now. I know you watch the Discord, so
I do.
you've given away your secret.
I'm a sucker for a Discord server, and then yours has been one of my new favorites because it's like, okay, am I available to go to this music thing? Yes, no. I'll poke tour. You want to come? And it's just fun. We really enjoy live music, and just
It's
seeing.
so good.
Yeah. And I've been able to introduce him to new live music talent just because of much like you were saying before, Pandora. I just know someone who introduced me to someone, and that person introduced me to someone else, and it's just a domino effect of talent, and it's fun to go out and explore all that. So I'm really glad that we came to know you both, and the things that you're doing here, and being a part of your server is great, and I look forward to attending lots and lots of events. So hopefully you don't get tired of us.
I will definitely not. Now I know I'm gonna at Consuelo on every watch me.
I'm here for it. Go ahead.
Do you want me to tell them? Because I can tell them, honey.
Huh?
Kaiden is asking if we want to tell you what the Halloween theme for next year is going to be.
Oh.
And he's telling me it's up to me. Okay, I'll tell them then. It's going to be Salem.
Oh, nice. Oh. I love that.
Yeah, it's going to be a realistic Salem.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I love that. I look forward to seeing that.
We are very excited.
Nice.
Yay.
All right. Well, Tour, do you have any? I know you said that was your final question, right? Was asking them about the future things. Is there?
It's more. It would be more if Pandora or Kaiden had any final thoughts you all wanted to say before we bring it to a close. I mean, obviously we're very grateful that y'all shared yourselves with us so thoroughly. This has been really magical, and really appreciate getting to know both of you, and kind of getting to hear a little bit about your process, as well as about you as people. So. But yeah, if you have any closing thoughts, or we'll move on to Consuela bringing us towards a close.
I guess I'm gonna talk. I don't know if she's gonna talk.
I figured they were consulting.
No, I was lagging. Go ahead.
Well,
I was lagging. Go ahead. God. No, I want to say thank you so much for having us. It's an honor for people to want to know about us and our processes, and to enjoy what we do with us, because we're really passionate about it. But when people share our passion, it makes us feel invigorated and inspired, and we love that. So thank you, and thank you to your audience, for everyone there that also shares that passion with us. It's amazing. And thank you for now being kidnapped as my besties, because that's really important. I don't have many, so I just need to kidnap the ones I get. So thank you in advance for your commitment of the future. And
basically
it's been amazing.
Before you finish, my bad.
It's fine, honey. No, go on. Go ahead. It's your turn. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say what she said, and I think you two are great, and what you do is amazing. So yeah, I'm really with interviews and that, but I feel like this is amazing, and you two are awesome.
Aw, thank you.
I appreciate that so much.
That means a lot.
We try to approach it from a more personal, conversational perspective, rather than formal, stuffy interview style. And I feel like that's a more genuine way. So really appreciate that, Kaiden.
Just so you two know, you were the only interview that Kaiden has ever given on Voice. The podcast was the only other thing he ever did on Voice, but he's been asked to do probably 6 interviews in the past 4 years, and he has never voiced on any of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there was one with.
We're very honored.
Linden Labs like 3 years ago for the Halloween. I just couldn't do it. So.
You didn't even the voice with the Lindens?
No, I was
No.
just,
Oh wow.
I
Those are
wrote the
always
answers to his questions.
yeah. But yeah, this is my first interview, and this is probably gonna be my last. But yeah.
Wow. I really feel honored.
Collector's item video.
Well, we really appreciated hearing from you. You're lovely. Both of you are lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know, Pandora was, you were definitely trying to set the stage for us and be realistic. And you're like, Kaiden's probably not going to say anything, and, just explaining everything to us. So I really been just blown away that Kaiden felt comfortable enough to join us and voice. And it really means a lot. I really do feel special about that. So thank you for that.
And I have a new musical artist to look up. So.
You have two, MGK and
Yes.
Youngblood.
Yes.
It's very reflective of how amazing y'all are as people, because
Aww.
you've made him feel comfortable enough to speak, and that's a really special thing. Like, I know you guys know that, but just know, like, I'm so grateful, because the more like amazing connections we have in SL, the more it's easy to get burned by the negative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's so refreshing to have more of the positive. So thank y'all for bringing that out and giving him a chance to voice and feel comfortable. That's so special.
Yeah, I don't have words. It's just, my heart is overflowing. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
So
You're speaking to something that like is very personal to Consuelo, especially because like one of the reasons we even started doing any sort of broadcasting on Second Life is we did notice that a lot of the vloggers were kind of snarkier. Again, not naming names, but there's a lot of negative out there and just kind of bitter voices out there. So we wanted more to celebrate Second Life as a wonderful, quirky place, and to celebrate the people in it, in this weird grid that we all share. So
I feel like we say that almost every one of these is,
I know,
but it's important. It's important because as a consumer, as I've said in previous videos, a consumer of SL media, a consumer of, products in SL, just watching what is done on social media and how others, again, with their entitlement, feel like they can go on social media and tear somebody down and they don't even know them or what it took to put the effort into that item or experience that was created. It just seems very, just very unfair and just not right. And so I wanted to vlog SL because I love it here, and I don't think it gets there's too much negativity out there. And I really wanted to celebrate it and the people who make SL amazing, like yourselves. And then just be, the opposite side of the coin to all the haters, all the trolls, all the griefers, all the people who think that they have an opinion, that their opinion, their negative opinion is the final word on something, like they're an authority, just didn't sit right with me. So it's like, no, I want to be different and I want to do this differently. It doesn't have to be like this. So, and that's how this channel was born. So
That is definitely not something everyone can do or has the fortitude for. So thank you for being that person and doing it, because it needed to be done. So thank you.
You're welcome.
You're awesome for that.
Thank you. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring us to a close. I usually, at this point, I thank the folks who were in the chat. So I was scrolling all the way back. We had Miali here, Marlou, Jason, Kissick, of course. Kissick's been making a lot of comments, which have been fun. I missed that Mooley popped in. Mooley Parton was here. And Mooley likes to pop in from time to time and just surprise me, and I start fangirling when she does that. And then let's see, scrolling. I know we had Suri in the chat as well. Masumi popped up at the very end. Sinov, it looks like, was in the chat. I just like calling people out. Miss Reality. It usually doesn't take this long because usually there's not as many, but you guys, draw an audience for sure. And I think I got everybody in the chat now as I scroll through the names. I apologize. Oh, Theron just made a comment. Diane Miller, my favorite, Diane Miller, one of our friends. Yeah. So thank you to everybody who's in the chat. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for folks who will watch this later. We appreciate folks watching us, spending any amount of time, subscribing to us, sharing with friends. As I always say, Tour still owes folks a Speedo. I don't know if you know the Speedo story, Pandora and Kaiden, but to recap in a short little nugget of a story, basically I've committed Tour to every 100 subs, he has to do a video in a Speedo. So that
is a campaign that we can I will personally sign on to. I am here to support in this endeavor.
Yep.
I got you, besties. I got you.
Usually we have Zach in the chat reminding us that we owe a Speedo for 500. We're already over halfway to 600 now. And so I think Tour, we might have to just go back to our roots and do a fliff with you in a Speedo just to capture that 500 before you owe 2 Speedos. And before you know it, you're going to just start living in Speedos. And I'm okay with that. So
before you know it, you're going to have to wear a sign that says banana hammock or something really,
that's right.
Really vivid.
That's right.
Oh, gosh.
So we appreciate all the folks who join us and are a part of our community and share the same love of SL that we do. It warms my heart every time. All the interaction in chat, all the folks we get to talk to and the things we get to capture, I couldn't be happier. So thank you to everybody out there. And thank you to Pandora and Kaiden for being with us today. This whole conversation has really meant a lot to me. I really appreciate your time today.
And we will see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Do that again, Tour. You cut them off. The stream is still live.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. This is one of those blooper moments. I did it. Now I messed it up again. Okay, I'm going to be quiet now. Do it. Do your thing, Tour. Go.
And we'll see you all in the next video.